Those 5 guys just could
Barcelona.
Wow. Big stack 32 big blinds, the smallest stack 9. How long on the clock, James?
1 minute 30 seconds.
Right.
And then the blinds go to 300, 600.
Okay, good luck, everyone. Eyes down for a full house.
Wow. Sorensen back in the action. That's a call with deuces.
This is a really weird play. I think Sorensen sitting on a short stack here has got to move all in.
ICM considerations. Always a good excuse, I find. Why? I mean, joking aside, is there any legit reason to not just go a pair, wow, and get it all in? And
no.
Okay, that's good. Good.
So Kaufman makes it 1.35 million. Sorrentino seems interested in the small blind.
See, here's the thing, right? Like twos now are in a terrible spot, whereas if they would have shoved, it would have been fold for both of these players, very likely.
Petkov with king 8 of clubs.
1350.
He folds. Sorensen with the deuces. Folds as well. No, he's all in.
Oh, I was going to say that would be just so weird.
Oh my goodness.
I thought Sorensen was pushing his cards forward. It was actually his chips, and Kaufman snap folded.
Didn't even think about it for a minute.
Deuce got the max. Are we getting pranked? What's happening?
You know when I said we're definitely not getting pranked, it might be that we all are. Wow.
So we have now rolled into level 37. The blinds are now 300,000, 600,000 with a 100,000 ante. We are still 5-handed, and the chip leader has 26 bigs.
Are you absolutely sure, James? Because it doesn't sound right.
I'm just going to let that hang there.
Okay.
Testing the walls right now.
It's not
See if I can find a
often
door.
that we can look at the chip count and look at the entire lineup at the final table and say every single player is in the danger zone.
Danger zone! I can't even sing it loudly enough to just make it clear how much danger is currently present.
I have no words. Beej says, this final table is great, but can we get more of Stapes and Liv voguing to Christmas songs? There will be more of the podcast in the next tournament break, but sadly, no more voguing. Ace-9 for Petkov in the small blind. He shoves on Andre Akari, who's got pocket fours.
Wow.
And Andre calls all in. We are off to the races. Andre Akari with his tournament life on the line, hoping that his pocket pair will hold.
This is a really tough spot. Hate to flip for it all here.
Andre needs his pair to hold, or he will exit in 5th place. Fours are holding, but Andre could get counterfeited here. Aces, 9s and 5s are working for Petkov. Additional outs for Petkov. Andre has to fade an ace, queen, 9 or 5 on the river to survive.
It's a lot of cards to dodge. Oh,
It's a
good
5,
Lord.
and that will send Andre Akari to the rail in 5th place, eliminated by Lachazar Petkov. Andre cashes out for 317,960 euros, his best ever result in a PokerStars main event, his best result on our tour, but sadly no win, no title, no trophy. A very popular player. It's been great to watch him over the course of the last few days. He leaves us, and we are finally down to 4. We have finally seen an elimination, and now Lachazar Petkov has the chip lead, close to 40 big blinds with nearly 23 million chips.
I think what we can say is that Andre has given us a masterclass in staying positive. The number of times we've seen him in the last 3 days hanging on with 5 big blinds, 14 big blinds. What an amazing end result to get through such a strange final table. 5th place out of nearly 1,700 runners. The odds so often looked against him, but here he is.
Girl on the sofa on Twitter says, I've been watching and loving Twin Peaks, which is pretty surreal, but this final table is starting to push it. Sebastian says, I returned 3 times in the last 3 hours, and you're still 5-handed?
Well, hang on a second, because Kaufman immediately all in with the king-queen suited. Here we go.
It's demolition time.
Just needs a customer. Sebastian Sorensen, the only player left,
Wow.
but here we go.
Sorensen calls, putting Kaufman at risk, and Kaufman is dominated. King-Queen way behind Ace-Queen.
Do you cover me? No, I probably cover you.
So Kaufman's going to need to get lucky here. Or we are down to 3.
Just happy to be here.
Jack 4 deuce. Ace Queen holding. Kaufman looking for a king. Sorensen is not at risk, but he's standing. Kaufman looks very comfortable. Does he know something we don't? Heart on the turn for the maximum sweat. Kaufman picks up additional outs. Any king, any heart.
Just chuckling. I feel the same. I just feel the same way. You kind of almost hear it coming.
The river card is a 10. It doesn't come. And back-to-back eliminations at this final table. We lost Andre in 5th. We now lose the other Latin American player, Brian Kaufman from Uruguay, out in 4th place, cashing for 402,000 euros.
Wow. Now, Jamie, you've been very quiet. Are you enjoying your time with us here at the final table?
I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked. I mean, one, we lose Andre Akari, an absolute class act today.
Yeah.
The people's champ, I think. Really, really sad to see him go, but congratulations. And just now, Kaufman hitting the rail. 1-2.
Unbelievable. They're like buses.
Back-to-back bust-outs. We are down to 3 players, but we're still shallow, ladies and gentlemen. Petkov, the chip leader, has 37 bigs. Sorrentino second on the leaderboard with 25 bigs. Sorensen with 18 bigs. Are they going to look at the numbers? That's the crucial question.
It would seem, to my mind, with these huge payouts that we've talked about so many times, to have that double elimination, to get down to this spot, surely now is the time to have the discussion.
Sorrentino, the baller, says, I'm not interested. Sorrentino says, let's play on.
Wow.
Respect.
Remind us of that top 3 payout. We're looking at 1.41 million for first, 790,500 for second, and 554 for third. That's just such a huge discrepancy between third and first. That's pretty bold of Sorensen to not even want to just vaguely get some insurance here. As the short, the shortest stack with 18 bigs.
Just to be clear, Sorrentino vetoed the deal, not Sorensen.
Oh, excuse me, I completely misheard. Oh, well, in that case, it all makes sense. No, hang on a second, it still doesn't make sense. Okay, well then, yeah, I guess if you think, you know what? I'm Rafael Sorrentino. Did you see me in Monte Carlo? Do you know what I'm capable of?
Exactly.
Hang on a sec. This is crazy.
So Petkov opens on the button with King 9. Sorensen with Ace Queen again. Re-raises.
3-3-7-5.
Let's all just calm down, all right? We've played a lot of poker. Let's all just take a breather.
So just 3 remaining. Pretty even in chips. 23 big blinds apiece for Sorensen and Sorrentino. 35 bigs for Petkov.
And now we have a completely different game. 3-handed action. The button, the small blind, and the big blind. That's it.
With actual sort of stacks that are vaguely playable. I mean, not super playable, but at least it's not all or nothing.
Now it's like a sit and go.
Yeah.
Right? It was a hyper. Now it's a sit and go.
Petkov has limped on the button. Sorensen in the small blind. We've only caught one of his cards. Here's the 5 of spades.
See, all I can look at is that beer in the girl's hand in the background. That looks really good right now. It's been a long afternoon.
Hello to Ollie, who says, I guess this was a good tournament to watch as my first time watching poker.
Yeah, of course, we heard from Ollie a few days back, who was telling us it was his first time to tune in. Yes, I think your timing is indeed good.
10-7-6 on the flop. King high still, well, a pair of 6s now ahead, I should say. A straight draw for Petkov.
It's a good spot for Petkov to bet. You have a gut shot. It's not the end of the world if you bet and get raised.
1.8 million in the middle.
A little stab.
Yeah. Gonna throw some chips at this.
700,000. Sorrentino calls. This hand going to the turn. 3 of diamonds. Something we should point out, we've mentioned this a few times, that Petkov is mainly an online player and mainly plays heads up sit and goes plus $100 spin and goes. A spin and go is a turbo with shallow stacks. And how many players? 3. You could argue this is his bread and butter.
Edge Petkov. Edge Petkov, hearing that.
Yeah, familiar territory.
Spin and goes start with 25 big blinds. And we're sitting 22, 23, 32 right now.
Familiar territory.
Sorrentino still with the best hand, checks the action to Petkov, who makes it 2.1 million, applying the pressure.
But the story of Sorrentino winning PokerStars Championship Monte Carlo, I'm torn right now.
Yeah, it would be good, wouldn't it?
Sorrentino looks a bit pained. He doesn't know he's an 80% favorite. He folds the best hand. So a short while ago, very sadly, we lost Andre Akari from Team PokerStars Pro. He was our 5th place finisher, and he is now down on the floor with Joe Stapleton.
Andre, you're well known as being one of the happiest, most positive guys in the game. After what just happened, where are you at?
I don't want to talk. Can I leave? Just.
He's still making jokes, still smiling.
What can I do, man? It was terrible, you know. Like, was a mix between being sad and being happy. Like, happy for the deep run was good, but sad about the cards, right? The cards killed me today. In the end, yeah.
It was a tough day with the way the cards fell for you, for sure. This smile that's on your face right now, is this a smile to keep from crying, or is this just you being you?
No, it's just me being me. I'm always happy, you know. Like, this is still Sunday. We're in Barcelona playing poker, so it's good. Yeah. Anyway, and I got good money, so everything's good.
Has Neymar gotten in touch yet to give his
I
congratulations?
didn't open my cell phone. You want to open?
Yeah, sure. Let's see it.
Let's see.
There might be too many messages to go through.
Where is
Neymar,
he?
Neymar. There's a lot of
Friends of Neymar.
A lot of bikini models. Let's see.
No.
The race car drivers.
The boss.
Brazilian president.
Oh,
there he
Neymar.
is.
Here.
I don't think he hasn't seen it yet.
You
The stream hasn't gone out yet.
You don't want to translate that, man.
Oh, is
Forget
that a
about
bad
it.
word?
Yeah, it's a bad word.
Yikes. Andre, just really quick before we go, not for you, but for me, I need a hug. Congratulations, man.
It happens, man. It happens. Let's go.
Definitely one of the nicest guys in poker. Such a positive outlook. Andre Akari, our 5th place finisher in the PokerStars Championship Barcelona main event. And we have reached hand 100 of the final table.
Happy birthday, everyone. Well done, Jamie. Well done, mate. I was worried about you there, but you're good. You're looking strong. We're back.
We have new life.
We have.
Now, I'm going to stand by this statement from Mark Baggett because I remember when he tweeted on day 3, when there were around 250 players remaining, Mark said, Rafael Sorrentino is my pick to win this tournament.
He did. I also can confirm that.
And Mark, you are indeed correct. He has a good chance now. We are down to 3.
Although that is quite chilling, that thought of Petkov going, finally. I've had to wait for 1,700 odd players to get out of the way so I can finally get 3-handed and bring into play my spin and go skills.
Bring the pain.
Exactly.
Sorrentino calls with 8-7 suited.
Little limped in here. Oh, Jack in the small blind. It's going to be a raise. How much? How can I get the most and protect my hand?
I guess Jack's actually, well, no, I'm not going to guess. I'm going to say something. You can tell me while I'm wrong. It feels like Jack's even more fragile short-handed because so many wider ranges that maybe ordinarily you could force out with a bet are still going to come along for the ride. They're going to have overcards.
I think it's about neutral. You're going to have more King X, more Queen X hands.
Yeah.
But you're also just going to have more 8-7, right? So I think it's about neutral.
Okay.
Jacks, no matter when you play them, are a little bit awkward.
Raised to 2.4 million. Sorensen has folded, and Sorrentino folds as well.
I can't believe you're telling me that Jacks never get easier or harder. You're just telling me whatever the situation, they're just pretty sticky. Unbelievable.
What's amazing is that you can't even play for a prize this big in spin and goes. You know, the $1 million first prize is insane on the $100.
Well, the funny thing is it did go through my head because I thought, well, do you know what? With the multipliers you get in the spin and goes, there might be a time if you're used to playing $100, maybe actually you're used to this situation where, the prize versus the buy-in is actually ridiculous. But yeah, I think for a 5K tournament to be looking at the 1.4 million payday when no deal has been discussed, this is a bubble like we've never seen before. 5-3. I mean, it's hard to not think about it now we've talked about it, but you kind of think, well, Petkov does look pretty comfortable and is going to make this tricky for everyone else. Going to be a lot easier for the likes of Sorensen if he gets something like King-Queen 3-handed.
This is a hand you want to play. I think given the stack size, I'd elect for a call here. You expect to have the best hand a lot, but you don't want to get shoved on by a hand like 9s. So see a flop would be my strategy. I'm also not at the final table.
Yeah, who are you? Why do I keep asking for your advice? I mean,
Never have been.
3-3.
3.3 million is the 3-bet. A lot of threes to consider there. And that He's going to get the job done.
Well, bear in mind, two of the noisiest rails were the Latin American supporters.
Yeah.
The Uruguay fans who were here for Kaufman and the Brazilian fans who were here for Akari. We do still have the Bulgarians, though, and they've proved to be quite vocal.
Right, okay. Well, there's a lot of pressure on them because they are filling a large gap left by that other rail section. Let's hope they step up.
When we talk about players who are pretty popular on the circuit, players like Andre Akari, Sorrentino's got a lot of supporters, and they don't necessarily fall along the lines of Italian poker players. Obviously, there are many who like Raffaele, including his friend and former mentor, Mustafa Canet, but there's so many people in the poker world who love this guy and want to see him win. Blind on blind, unraised pre, ace 9-5.
Who wants it?
Who doesn't want it?
It's a simpler question as that.
Sorry, we're talking about this hand. Well, Sorrentino is saying I want it because he's betting. 600,000 into 1.5 million.
Okay. Little something here. Going for a float. A lot of good turns. Jack, Queen, 7-6, all bringing in some form of straight draw.
However,
a 4 does nothing. But the thing is, Sorrentino can check here, and then Petkov has an easy bluff and take it down.
Sorrentino has indeed checked.
50% of the task already taken care of now. Does Petkov, with his tiny 7% in the real world, just blast past that with a bluff.
You sick puppy, Petkov. With 10 high, he makes it 900,000. And with Jack high, how does Sorrentino call here?
No, it's great.
I think Sorrentino raises if they do anything, but
Yeah.
That's
thought seems to be there.
That's the beautiful thing with the float, isn't it? Is maybe you improve, and if you don't, all of a sudden your opponent's like wobbling.
Right.
And you can go clang, move in for the kill. Nice hand, Petkov.
He extends his lead close to 40 big blinds. 26 bigs for Sorensen, 16 for Sorrentino. Lines up in 20 minutes time when we come to the end of level 37 and hit our next break. And during that break, chance to see part 2 of Poker in the Ears and Eyes. Now, whose are those shoes?
I don't know. That's a shirt as well. Oh, Toma.
Suganari Toma, an online qualifier who made it to the penultimate day of the main event, now watching the action from the rail. Yes, the next part of the podcast coming up in 20 minutes' time. Finton and Spraggy from Team Online are our guests on the show.
Spraggy was in the Twitch chat a little while back, actually. He's about to be famous. His life's about to change, as yours did, Jamie, when you first met the gang.
Spraggy's already a superstar, you know.
But can you
got
imagine?
Such a great stream.
You can imagine where he's going to go from here.
After this podcast,
literally,
it changes your career.
The graph that was just going like that is going to go like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way things go once you're catapulted into stardom by Poker in the Ears and Eyes.
So again, blind on blind, unraised pre. Petkov bluffing the flop with 5 high, and Sorensen with just queen high is in a horrible situation.
The percentages favor Sorensen, but you would think this would work. What's happening?
Well, maybe he's going to raise. Maybe he's going to bluff, rebluff. We know he's got the best hand. He doesn't know that. He probably thinks queen high's no good here.
We've got some real poker going on.
Yeah. And Petkov has shifted into another gear, so somebody has to stand up to it at some point.
Nicely done, Sorensen.
Very nicely done.
And you can tell by the quietness in the room that this guy does not have any friends, family, or supporters here today.
A lone wolf in the poker jungle.
Munching on his Miami Dolphins scarf.
Dolphins. By the way, just want to make it quite clear, don't eat dolphins. I know that was the implications of my last comment. It was just for comedy.
Dolphin-friendly tuna only.
Absolutely.
Nine, 6 of clubs for Petkov. Is he basically playing every hand?
Kind of, and I think that's kind of not the worst idea ever.
It's suited.
I mean, I like
Connected.
it. Yeah, on the button. What's not to,
Three-handed.
what's not to like?
Spin and go expert. Championships on the line.
So he calls on the button. Sorensen with 8-3 off in the small. He's got a little bit invested, but really? Sure enough, he folds. Sorrentino with ace-6 of diamonds.
Blinds being 300, 600,000 here. Ace-6 suited.
Yeah, it's got to be up the top, isn't it? It's like gold bullion at this stage.
That's a fold. And we play on. 15 minutes now until this level concludes. I believe the next blind level will be 400, 800 with a 100k ante.
Well, you're saying that Sorensen hasn't got much of a row here. Quite a lot of love for him in Twitch. They are shouting, go for it, scarf guy. But, I mean, I think...
I mean, obviously, they're clearly close friends that they don't even know his name.
No, but... say what you see. As you remember, for a long while, I was elbow guy. So, you know what? Any amount of love doesn't matter as long as the love is there.
A walk for Petkov.
In fact, it was exactly this stop last year where I managed to burn my eyelids. I went outside and read a book in the sun, and it acted like one of those like sun bouncer shields.
Okay.
And I managed to burn the soft bits, my baggy eyes, and we sat in the poker in the ears and eyes. And I had my arm in like a tennis elbow brace, and I looked absolutely dreadful. And just all I remember was when we first broadcast part 1 of the thing, somebody going, "What's up with the elbow guy's eyes?" And that was it. And it's one of my favorite audience comments ever.
Wasn't it at the end of the trip that you forgot to put the arm strap on and someone shook your hand really fiercely?
Yeah, I was finally getting some relief from this tennis elbow, and at the end the security guy was just like, great to meet you, and just absolutely put me back weeks.
Sorrentino all in from the button with the 6s. Petkov folds the small. Sorensen in the big. Queen 5, not gonna call. And those blinds going up very soon.
A lot of disbelief with our audience that we really don't know what's gone on in the future, or the past, should I say. Why on earth would we want to spoil it? This is way too much fun. Why on earth would we want to do that to ourselves?
We are sealed off from what's
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, I think Alex asked a while ago, you know, like if we step out of here, do we get to see what's going on? It's really easy to not know what's going on. It's also completely separate from where we're sitting. And again, I go out of my way to make sure no one gives me any information. This is just too much fun.
Sure. Sorry.
Sorrentino calls in the small blind. Just to recap, for those of you who are new to the way we do things on final table day on the tour, the picture you're watching now actually happened an hour ago. We are on a 1 hour delay because, of course, there are hole cards on the screen. We're giving away essential information, but we are commentating live, as it were. So we're getting a delayed video feed. We're calling the action at the same time that you guys are seeing it at home, and that's how we're able to be across Twitter, across Twitch.
Interesting flop here.
Yeah, Petkov's free rolling, right?
Sorrentino going to take the lead, though. And now Petkov, do you want to call and play this sort of passively with your ace-high flush draw, or do you want to go for the raise? The nice thing about the ace-high flush draw is that sometimes ace-high is good at showdown, so it's a nice one to include in your calls.
Sure enough, it's a call from Petkov, which takes us to the turn. 7 of diamonds. So 4/5 of the time, this hand will be a chop. But if it's a heart on the river, Petkov wins the lot. Sorrentino cannot win the hand outright. He's still betting, though. It's 1.2 million.
Not really anything Petkov can do here. It is a bit of a combo draw, but it's too much to risk a shove. I think it's a call and see the river. 3.9 million in the pot. And in his mind, it's got to be a lot of outs. 9 hearts, and then 3 additional straightening cards for a 5. We, of course, know that they have the same hand, so those outs aren't clean.
Deuce of diamonds, so no heart.
And can Sorrentino pull off the triple barrel bluff here, which would probably work against Petkov?
But it's got to be pretty scary when you're looking down and going, ah, my ace high, hooray.
Especially on such a bad bluffing card. Doesn't complete anything. Backdoor diamonds.
Ace high.
Gets checked to showdown. We have another chop pot here at the final table. And you know what they say.
Everyone loves a chop pot.
Try and put the 3-part harmony. We've got a little bit of work to do, guys.
That was abstract. That's what that was.
It was Discord, a bit jazz. Bit of jazz for you there, everyone at home. Hope you enjoyed that.
Here's where things stand with 8 minutes on the clock. Just going to check in the PokerStars lobby. Free roll password is in the top left-hand corner of the screen. We've still got nearly 2 hours until tonight's free roll starts. 9:15 Central European time. 17,000 players registered for the free roll. That means another 13,000 seats up for grabs. So book now to avoid disappointment later. Those of you who didn't get tickets for the live podcast will have learned from that experience. BUNYOLS, Bunyols is the free roll password, all lowercase.
I know I'm just here for the day, but have you guys ever considered a quartet?
Do you know, it would just be hard to get together for like the rehearsals. Skype isn't the way to run a band.
Right. Okay. It was a dream, but
you know, I think less is more.
Don't just shoot the man down in flames. I like the fact that you've got ideas, Jamie. I like the fact that we're workshopping stuff here. So Petkov completes in the small blind. Sebastian Sorensen. Who, as Mike Gilbert points out on Twitter, is indeed an online qualifier. He is the last remaining qualifier, I believe. Playing in only his 2nd ever live tournament. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I played a couple of poker tournaments. Oh, the second one, yeah, I locked up 554,000 euros. Petkov betting with 4 high. Now, remember when he had queen high, we got the bluff raise from Sorensen. Does he feel like making the same move with jack high?
Doesn't feel the same.
Well, obviously, we know it would probably work.
No, he felt it too. It was a vibe thing.
Pressure from Petkov paying off for him. Near enough 22 million in chips. As the clock ticks down towards the next break. Petkov with ace-9. He's not limping this time. Raises to 1.3 million. Sorensen folds the small blind. Sorrentino in the big blind has 10 deuce.
Raise ticket, that's it.
Man, I miss those good old 5-handed, 10 big blinds each days. This is familiar territory for me, and I'm not sure I've got the patience for it anymore. I have become accustomed to a different kind of poker. This is way too legit.
Sorrentino completes in the small. Ace-8 of spades for Petkov.
Very interesting here. Sorrentino's hand, my favorite hand, Jack-10 of hearts. Petkov with the ace-8 could shove, or could raise less than a shove, or could check. Just don't fold.
Looks like he wants to raise, Jamie. I don't think Sorrentino is going to fold Jack-10 suited.
Could he even get more aggressive with it?
You could, of course, limp reshove, but I think Jack-10 of hearts just flops so well. There's so many good situations for Jack-10 of hearts. I like the call and see 3 cards.
1-7.
The raise is to 1.7 million. Sorrentino calls. We are going to get ourselves a flop here. Feels like it's been a while. Well, Jack-10 does flop well. Jack-4 deuce, top pair for Sorrentino. Checks to the pre-flop aggressor.
These are the best spots. You limp call, you flop top pair, you check, and you're expecting to get a continuation bet out.
It's clearly all kicking off in the high
Well,
roller.
it's that fruit machine's paid out again. A lot of local interest in that.
Petkov continues. 3.7 million in the pot. And this is a C bet of 1.1 million. Sorrentino check raises all in. Petkov quickly folds.
It all went exactly as you planned, didn't it, Jamie? You made that happen. You and your Jack-10 suited. Does it have to be hearts or just Jack?
It has to be hearts, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, it's so close now. Petkov still leads with 32 bigs. Sorrentino and Sorensen have roughly 25 bigs each. And the blind's going up in 2 minutes' time.
We'll be back where we belong very soon. Don't worry at home.
Sorrentino on the button, first to act. King deuce of diamonds. He raises to 1.2 million.
I like the raise with the suited hand.
Petkov clearly with a decision. King 8 of clubs.
Now this is a stack that Petkov can elect to 3-bet and fold to a 4-bet, but just going for the call this time and going to take it to the flop.
Are we going to get three-way action? Sorensen with not much of a hand, but getting a decent price.
Yeah.
Wow, that is not a calling stack.
Blimey.
Well, he's picked an interesting time to squeeze. The re-raise from Sorensen is to 3.25 million. And realistically, Sorrentino and Petkov can't call here.
Sorensen has been just picking his way through this final table all day, sort of sliding under the radar. Here we are three-handed. And they can't expect this.
How many reds do you have behind? The red. Thank you.
Well, if Petkov reads this for what it is and can find another bet, that would be sensational.
I mean, I'm still busy being impressed by Sorensen. If Petkov makes a move here, I might have to stand up.
No, he lets it go. And that brings this session to a close. So over the course of this level, we lost two players. Andre Akari and Brian Kaufman exited in 5th and 4th respectively, leaving us with the final three who will come back after a 20-minute break to play the next level with the blinds at 400,000, 800,000 with a 100,000 ante, 23 big blinds, 22 big blinds, 17 big blinds. Still super shallow. More live action coming up here on PokerStars TV. During the tournament break, enjoy part 2 of Poker in the Ears and Eyes with special guests Finton and Spraggy.